Good day everyone, it is Caitlin and today we are making an 1850s and 60s cloth doll as well as a bag to put all her stuff in. Hello and welcome. We're going to start with the doll's bag. So I picked this out of my stash and it is just cotton and like a brown and blue. And it's 2 fat quarters I'm going to sew together. Trying to make sure I match everything up. And I have 2 fat quarters, so I am having to sew them together. I'm just, again, dealing with stash fabric, so it's not exactly what I would have chosen had I, had the choice necessarily, but it's always good to get some stash fabric out of the way. And I am going to fell this seam simply because I want to make sure that this raw edge doesn't ravel. So I'm going to cut that down a bit. And ideally I'd have a circle for the bottom, but I don't have any more fabric. So we're going to do what we did last time with the last doll. And just hem the bottom edge. Hope for the best, I guess, technically. And then draw it up and that sort of thing. Now I am getting some fabric non-white, so I'm like tea-dyeing it. But this is our doll pattern that we're going to work with, so it's going to be a full doll, not just the stump doll that we did last time. And I need to add seam allowance to her, so this is going to be the full size of the doll. So it's going to be a nice size little doll. So hopefully that'll work out and look really good. Now I can hem the bottom. And the nice thing about this tiny little flat is it's really easy to get even hems. And as a reminder, having a bag for your doll isn't necessarily a period correct idea. It's just I need something for when we go to events, when I eventually have children who want to play with dolls. I need something for my sanity, a place to keep the doll so all the doll and all the doll's belongings don't get lost or thrown every which way. There's at least a place to put things. And we'll make this the top, so we're going to leave a little bit open for the ties to go through, or the drawstring really. And there's the bottom, which I now need to run a hand gathering thread. I'm doing it by hand, not by machine, because most machines do not do gathering. I don't think any machines did gathering in the 19th century, mid-19th century that I'm making this doll for. And also because it lays differently because of the lock stitch that a machine does. It's going to make the thread too thick and it's not going to gather up as much as it would if I did it by hand. Alright, so I gathered it and I'm just moving my thread back and forth to really attach this and make a very secure bottom so nothing sticks out the bottom or comes out the bottom. It's not the best way to make a bag, but when you're short on fabric, it works. Turn inside out, and I got this on the bottom. So we're going to go ahead and put a tape for a piece of ribbon, a drawstring, if you will. Can measure it out to there, about as big as the actual bag. And I'm going to use the safety pin because I have no idea where my bodkins are. Find my hole and just run it right through. Then I'll go check on the fabric and see if we're ready to go cut our doll. Also, I was really wanting to use stuffing for this doll and not fabric scraps like I did last time, but unfortunately I cannot find any of my stuffing because I'm between houses and I don't know whether it's still in my grandmother's attic, I don't know whether it's here buried, and I don't know whether it's in the storage unit. It's just somewhere. So unfortunately we're going to have to use fabric scraps again. Good news is I just lost that. Well, darn it. Alright, I'm going to try that again. Good news is I have a lot of fabric scraps, so at least it'll work. Alright, I'm just going to tie this to this because apparently that didn't work. Cool. Alright, that's way more secure. Alright, I will do that again and get the fabric out, and I'll meet you back for cutting the doll out. Alright, let's cut out the doll. Fabric did not turn out nearly as I guess, even as I want, but it's okay. I'm going to cut it with about a 4th inch seam allowance. It's far better to start off with a brown or a tan cotton, but this is what I had. Alright, so now I have two pieces. I have a front and a back. I'm going to sew her all around, except leaving a little bit open, probably at her side. I think that's going to be the easiest place. Actually, her head's probably easier. Her head's really wide. Let's cut that down a little bit. Okay, wait. That's still wide, but it's not bad. Okay, seam allowance. Seam allowance. Gotta remember there's seam allowance. Alright, let's get to sewing. Also, before we get started, it was my intention to sew this on Mascot. So this is Mascot. We got her on her honeymoon. She is a non-functioning machine from 1866 to 1870. Is when this particular manufacturer was working. This is Abbott's home sewing machine, and with the word Mascot on it. We call her Mascot because she has the word Mascot on her. And she's a pre-war technology, so pre-Civil War technology machine. She is missing her glass temperature, which is why she does not work. Otherwise, she needs a lot of cleanup. But we're working on that. Hopefully, maybe get her up and running one day. But I did want to introduce her because she's a really cool little machine. And yeah, it still goes. It's just really hard. She needs a lot of oil and good cleanup. And a glass tensioner, that would help, because she actually can't sew without that thing. But that's Mascot. We're going to continue sewing with a modern machine, though. Again, I'm going to leave a good bit at the top. Not stitched. Alright, I'm going to have to clip a lot of these seams so that she doesn't bulk up. But then we'll come back, iron her down, and start stuffing her. Alright, so for clipping, I've clipped inside her elbow here, or not her elbow. I clipped under her underarm, at her waist, did her crotch. Here I've just kind of been cutting out some of the fabric. Of course, not cutting what we sewed. It's going to help things lay better. Same here. And clipped her neck as well. Okay. Now we're ready to turn her. Probably could have left that opening just a bit bigger. And because she's still slightly damp, I am going to have to wait till she's entirely dry before stuffing with her, because I don't want to create any mildew or anything of that sort in the doll. Which, you know, sometimes wet fabric can do that. And actually, before we stuff her, we're going to put her face on. Consider painting her face. Would you believe I don't know where my painting stuff is either? Although what we could do is, you know, not give her a face right now. Let her be faceless. And then, later on, I could paint it on.
Destroy the album instead. But our mission is to do this. At all costs, we have to warn the Republic about the station. They'll take notice when the old city stops. Right. If they stop receiving our beacon, they'll get the message something wants us to start this on the bridge.
We run into some difficulties. There seem to be a few clones left, sir.
Then wipe them out. We can't let a few human clones stop us. Hold back the object! Ben, time wasting. Harry. Yes, sir. Yes, Henry. I'll take care. You guys get out of here. Make it fast. Doors are getting close.
So this is just all scrap, as we discussed before. And it's easy to chop it up and use it as stuffing. And it's a great activity to do while watching a movie.
Huh?
I'm hoping this will at least fill her torso. Got her legs filled. But I think this whole pile should fill her torso. And then we'll work on arms and head. She's turning out a little bit more realistic size than the last doll. The last doll had a very tiny waist, which is fine. But yeah, she's turning out to be a bit more realistic. But she's got her feet all filled and okay, up to her bust. So yeah, we're just going to start filling arms next. For these larger pieces, I'm just cutting them to strips. Holding all the strips and just cutting. It's like making fabric confetti. Alright, so there she is. Oops. Well, she stood up while I got the camera set up. There she is. But yeah, that's our little doll. She turned out really cute. I mean, she's a good size. And she has something on her back. She stands up by herself, which is more than the other one does. She's very nicely stuffed. And yeah, we're going to paint her. So I'm going to see if my sister has any paint swam over there this weekend. And next month, I hope to show you a painted doll. I think her head's a little bit lopsided, but not honestly that bad. I think she functions for what she is. Nice little cloth doll. Good size. We're just going to make her some adjustable dresses and some accessories this time around. And later on down the road, we might revisit her, make her some underpinnings, more accessories, all that. But we're just going to get the basics done for right now. But yeah, what I do like about, filled dolls like this is you can move them a little bit and they won't stay that way, but they'll stay there a little bit. Like you can move her arm up a little bit, you can put it down. So they're slightly moldable, which I do enjoy. I do think that's a really nice touch. Yeah, that is our little cloth doll, our 1850s and 60s cloth doll. So next month we'll be making her 2 dresses to be put into her bag. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe to the channel. Click that little bell notification so you're notified anytime I upload a new video. And as always, have a fantastic week, and I'll see you back here in the next video.